I am Christina Garceau. I'm associate conference producer to Jen Hughes, who's our senior conference producer, but I am taking lead on Black Hat Europe. I have taken lead on Black Hat Asia in the past, and her and I tag team USA. So I'm very excited about the speaker coaching program for Europe because this is our first time having it for Europe. It was founded and run by Lydia Giuliano, and she led the first speaker coaching call if anybody happened to be on that one. But she's in Australia, so she can't make this time zone. She is one of our coaches this year, so some of you might have the pleasure of meeting her then. For this call, Phil Young, who is an experienced Black Hat speaker, speaker elsewhere, just a very long time Black Hat patron and friend. And he's wonderful. He's helping us out for this call to introduce the program and really explain all the benefits. So we have 18 people. That is a really good turnout. I dropped the link to sign up for the program in the chat. And if you want to wait to hear more information about it before you sign up, if you do sign up, then that's great. The deadline to turn in the form is the 18th. So that is in 2 days. We encourage you to sign up. It's a first come, first assisted. So the program will fill up. So we encourage you to sign up if you're interested. You will get paired up with a very experienced either review board member and previous speaker, Black Hat speaker, some very, very experienced people will be helping you with various things. So without further ado, I think we can turn it over to Phil. And then once he gets to the slide where we see our headshots of all of our coaches, it would be great if our coaches could speak up if they're in the call.
Yep.
So
yes, that'd be
Take
great.
it away, Phil.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great if they could speak up because I can't see. All I can see is my speaker notes and the slides. So I have no idea what's going on in the chat or anything. So first of all, I want to congratulate you for getting your talk accepted to Black Hat Europe. That is not easy. It's in fact very hard to do. So first, like huge round of applause for everyone here who was able to make it. I'm not gonna make applause on a team call, but the sentiment is there. But congratulations to you all. You know, if you're here, you might be wondering, is this program for you? And if you're here, the answer is yes, right? This program is not for just new speakers. It's not just for, speakers who want to like hone their skills. It's for everyone, right? If you've been an experienced speaker, I wish this program existed when I first started giving talks. I've been giving talks for more than a decade. I've spoken like at Black Hat, at DEF CON, all around the world. And when I first started giving talks and speaking, I wish this existed, right? There's a whole lot of reasons to sign up. Probably the most impressive one for the most impressive one for me is watching a slide go from stream of consciousness, kind of disorganized thoughts, to have a structure, beginning, middle, and almost like 3 acts. And watching, I coached, I specialize in coaching co-talks. And last year for Black Hat USA this year, actually, I had 2 guys who were giving a talk on GitHub Actions. And the first slide deck they brought to me was, it was rough. They put as much information onto every single slide as they could. And we helped them get that information spread out and, easier to digest. And then, we spent a lot of time on that slide deck. They didn't tell me they were doing a DEF CON talk as well until like the last minute. And they showed me their slides for DEF CON, and it was amazing. And it was everything they had learned from this program they had applied to their other presentations, right? So there's downstream impacts from this. It also really helps you build your confidence. Nothing makes me feel prouder than watching someone who, wasn't super confident about their talk get to the point where they feel like, oh, man, I wish I was in the audience watching my talk because I'm so happy, I'm so proud of this talk, right? The other thing that this program is really good at is helping you tailor your talk to the Black Hat audience. This is not an academic conference, nor is it an improv troupe. right? So there's a balance between entertaining the audience and also getting the information across. Presentations are a great way to get a ton of information across in a short period of time, but that takes practice and that takes skill, which is what the coaches are here to help you develop. And everything in between, right? We work with confidence. We also help when issues come up, who to talk to. If you have questions about the conference, where to go for resources. There's all kinds of things that the coaches help out with that are just outside of just speaking. Lydia put this slide together to show sort of the growth of the program, but also to let you know, like I said, first in, best effort to help to get coachees assigned. The coachees are here as volunteers, and so this is a volunteer effort, and so we don't all have infinite time to help everyone out. But this is an example of how many people we typically see. This program started in 2019 with Black Hat USA. Lydia picked it up and grew it from it didn't exist before then to now we're seeing almost half of the conference of speakers sign up for the program. So it's been hugely successful for the speakers who have gone through, but also in terms of improving the talks at Black Hat as well. Some of the feedback that we receive, and this is just a collection of feedback. The sort of same themes that you'll see. I'm not going to read every single like bullet or text box here, but they all sort of go around the same theme of, they helped to improve the content, right? Making slides is an art. It is, and also a science, but there's things you need to do that can help your slides. And there's things you can do that can be detrimental to your presentation and helping you put that content together. You might have, oftentimes when I'm doing a dry run with someone, I look at their slides and I say, okay, we have a good talk in here. We just need to move this around or reword these or make, instead of text, make this into a graphic, that kind of thing, right? Helping the speaker also improve their delivery, right? I'm a big proponent of rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. You should be rehearsing your talk as if you were going to be on stage in a play, right? You need to rehearse it to the point where you're confident enough that you almost don't need your slides. And then, I'll read one of the ones in the bottom right here because it's probably the best one. It's probably one of my favorite comments because I was looking over these this morning again, and I really like this one because it calls out. So we had a good outline of technical details. This is the bottom right, but we really didn't have a good story when we started working with our speaker and our speaker coach. And this is something that I see often with especially first-time speakers is they have the technical knowledge. They might be coming from an academic background, or they might be coming from having worked on a team of cybersecurity researchers at a large company, and they're excited to get their information across, but it's just too dense and it's not engaging, right? And then you can sometimes lose your audience. So all the coaches are great and help and really help you take your talk and make it the best talk that you can give. So speaking of our coaches, I'm going to see. So I know Lydia's not here, and I don't know if you're here in this. There's two slides here, right? So don't worry if you're not on the first slide as a coach. But if you could introduce yourself if you're here. And then Christina, if you could tell me who's not here, because I have some notes that I can read off of for them.
Hey guys, this is John Dixon. I'm here, one of the guys on that slide. I've been a speaker coach for now, I think 3 years-ish, but enjoy the heck out of this. Have all kinds of great stories of avoiding disaster, but it's just been an entirely fulfilling experience helping people take up their game. And I'll just tell one story. We had a speaker from Asia that started with a 90-page deck, PowerPoint deck, and his first practice he got through 4 slides. And that may have been some of the best work I did, getting him to the point where he could nail it. But no, it's really a cool program. You should take advantage of it, and look forward to meeting some of you.
John, what time zone are you in?
I think I'm in the West Coast. I had a 6 a.m. flight from Texas, so I'm in LA right now.
The reason I ask is we try we're not it's not really important, but we try to pair people up with folks in their time zone because it just makes planning and meeting easier for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Anyone else on the call from this slide?
I'm here. Marina Krotofil.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. So I would like to mirror Philip words, like congratulations for getting accepted. This is such an honor, of course. And I've been speaking at Black Hat, I think 6 or 7 times, and I've been the part of this program from the very beginning. I am chairing the cyber-physical and IoT track, and I'm reviewing 9 other tracks. However, what I've noticed in the past time, I used to think that like I should be coaching the talks where I'm an expert, and one year I forgot to select the talks, and I mean there have been a couple of people who requested me, but then I received also speakers from completely not my immediate area of expertise, and it turned to be actually maybe even a better experience, because like if you are expert in a topic, you tend to focus on the getting into depths and nitty-gritties and weeds of the topic, instead of like really coaching, creating an understandable and accessible to wider audience talk and a larger picture. So that tend to be also be a really excellent experience. Yeah, so I am I don't know. Struggling to know what to say, but yeah, I mean, it's we pour our heart and soul into these talks, and like I think what we are all learning as coaches at this present moment is actually to be invested a little bit less. Because we tend to be over invested. We really wish you so well. We want you to have a best experience of your life when you go to that stage and you shine, you present the best research, you are relaxed, and we're trying to bring you to the point where you are so confident and so fluent in your talk that you're just literally having a fan. And then we are so proud of you, and we are overly invested. And if you will be open to take full advantage of our experiences and our good wishes, you will have a very good experience. Yeah, and some of our best speakers in Black Hat are now becoming coaches because they so much like this program and they've learned from us so much and they just want to give back. So yeah, we all looking forward to working with you. I am in Europe, GMT +1.
Great, thank you.
That's exactly right. I think it's hard for the coaches to convey in just a short intro how much the program means to them and how invested they are in it. You're truly in for a treat with any one of these coaches that you get paired with. And so moving on, we don't have Stefano, Lucas, or Lydia on the call.
Okay, I can read. I have some things that Lydia prepared for me. So Lydia is the program lead. She's part of the Black Hat Review Board. She's been part of the review board for the past 8 years. She's been a speaker. So I'm gonna caveat this. I'm gonna mention some of the folks' specialties, but I'm gonna echo what Marina said. My specialty is mainframe cybersecurity research. The number of Black Hat talks about mainframe cybersecurity research that gets submitted are 0. So unless I'm the one submitting them. So I don't have expertise in what people are speaking on, and that's not a problem, right? That's in fact in some cases that works in people's favor, like Marina was saying, because your entire audience is not going to be the expert in your niche, right? And so you have to balance that edge of how do I get this information across without going too much in the weeds. So Stefano, he's a professor in Milan, so he's in the EU time zone. Sorry, I forgot to mention Lydia's in the Australia time zone. He's a professor in Milan. He's been part of the Black Hat Review Board since there was a review board. He has spoken many times at Black Hat. He specializes in like malware, hardware, IoT, and AI, industrial controls. Lucas is in the AU time zone as well, and he conducts training. He's spoken internationally and internally. Previously a pen tester and specializing in AppSec and DFIR. And then John Lloyd spoke for himself. All right. Is anyone here from this slide? I think I recognize James.
Yep. Hi there. I'm James. I've been speaking at various conferences for about 15 years, so I'm reasonably experienced now. But I only joined the speaker coaching program for Black Hat USA this year. So I'm relatively new at this as well, but I've learned a lot of things over the years about how to put together a good presentation and how to explain your ideas, particularly complex ideas, in a very easy and digestible form. So I'm certainly looking forward to helping anyone who's wanting our help to produce their best presentation, their best work, because you spent all this time doing the research and working very hard on that side of things, and then to not disseminate that information to your peers and your colleagues about how good your work was and how amazing your research was is always a little bit of a disappointment. So that's what I'm here for. I tend to specialize on Microsoft products, but as already said, I'm perfectly happy to work on virtually any topic because ultimately it's about information dissemination rather than my knowledge of the technical aspects of that talk. So don't hesitate if you want to put me down specifically. I'm willing to do virtually anything.
Great, thanks, James. Anyone else?
Hello, Federico here.
Go ahead.
So as you see, my picture is a little outdated in terms of hairstyle. But I want to say that you guys are very lucky, because in my first presentation, I think I practiced one time before the talk, and the person who made me practice after the talk came and said, "Oh, you should learn how to make presentation." And I was like, well, I wish I knew how to prepare. Congratulations again for being here. And a couple of words about myself. I have a background in computer security. I have a PhD in computer science, computer engineering, and I was also a professor at Politecnico di Milano, same as Stefano. Actually, I am one of Stefano alumni. And this gave me the opportunity to coach hundreds of students. Like, I lost count of how many. And every student is on his own. So it's a different case. And that's what I love most about these opportunities, like working case by case. I'm specialized in security engineering, and particularly on firmware and hardware. I currently work for Amazon. I have background in psychology also. This is something that is not, like, I don't publicize it too much. But the moment when I decided to join this program is last year, when one of I didn't know I was coaching, sent me a big box of sweets from Taiwan. And I was like, "Why did you send me this?" And he's like, "Oh, because you've been coaching me for the past year." And I'm like, "I didn't realize that. So maybe I should join this program." And I couldn't be happier to be able to help you make your talk go to the next level, because every research has been selected by review board members. I'm also in the review board, based on the content and based on how excellent the research content is.
Yep.
Presenting that content is a huge different story, and that's what we're here for. So welcome, and feel free to reach out.
Great, thank you. Anyone else?
Christina, you are muted if you're speaking.
Sorry, thank you. No one else on this slide that's on the call.
Okay, great. So I'll introduce the rest then. So Pam is in Australia. She's also on the Black Hat Review Board. She runs her own pen testing company. She specializes in AppSec Cloud, mobile, and enterprise. Michael is in the IDT time zone, international speaker, has spoken at Black Hat USA. Oh, sorry, my dog is upset. Bye, bud. Including, he's spoken internationally at Black Hat.con, has been through the coaching program twice now and is now a coach, right? So they specialize in AI, data science, AppSec, cloud, and defense. Anant is an IST, a Black Hat trainer, has been on the Black Hat review board, spoken at Black Hat, specializes in DFIR, defense and mobile, reverse engineering, AppSec, industrial stuff, lots of stuff. And then Vandana is also a Black Hat trainer, is on the Black Hat review board, is a speaker, specializes in AppSec, but specifically a human factors and community as well. So that's our coaches. Notice I'm not there. I'm not coaching for Black Hat Europe this year just because the timing doesn't work for me this year, but perhaps next year. Okay, first of all, I want to thank all the coaches that are here for speaking up. Thank you. That makes it much easier for me when you're here. So let's talk about some of the benefits and gains. So, we already talked about preparing your storyline, preparing your talk outline, storyboarding, helping you prepare your materials, right? So we'll sit and look at your slides and say, like, the thing about this, maybe move this here. Have you looked at like motions? Have you looked at animations, that kind of thing? Or maybe, like, for example, I'll just give an example from recently. One of my comments was, that's too many memes, like cut it back, right? Like that's helping you prepare your materials. And then speaking practice, right? Again, I'm a huge proponent of rehearse, right? So this will help. One, the more you rehearse, the more comfortable you, like, of course you're going to be nervous when you get up on stage. Everyone is all the time. I still am. Every time I get up on stage, I'm still nervous, no matter the size of the audience. But when you rehearse, once you get through that first 1 or 2 minutes, then the talk just comes out of you, right? Because you know exactly what you're doing and exactly what you're saying. It also helps you, moderate your speed. Like getting a talk timing down is hard. What you might think is going to fit in 40 minutes is sometimes, like I think James was saying, is sometimes, or I think it was John, can sometimes be what you think is 40 minutes is going to be 2 hours, or what you thought was 40 minutes was actually only 20, right? So we can help with speaking speed, with the pausing words, the content, all these kind of things. Strong takeaways, like finishing a talk sometimes is really hard too, because you just showed off this amazing research you've just done, and how do you wrap that up, right? And then all kinds of things, like if you want to add jokes or not jokes, if you want it to be a little funny or not funny, like fixing some of the visual appearance, making the slides more everything looks the same in the slide deck, right? More cohesive. So here's some dates. We're doing the introduction calls, yesterday and today. So the deadline to sign up is the end of the week. Next week is when you will get your allocations for your coaches, and by then you should be meeting, and your meet and greet with your coach should happen. And then the following week is when the program officially kicks off. Your slides are due December 2nd. And speakers that participate in the program, they get an extended deadline until December 6th, right? So this gives you a little bit extra time to rehearse and work on your slides and all that stuff. Now, this is the timeline that Lydia has sort of come up with to recommend how if this doesn't work for you, you can work with your coach to figure out what works best for you. Last year, I had 2 gentlemen giving a talk about AI, and their talk was they were in a improv troupe together. They had done musical theater together, but they have never given a talk together. And so they just wanted tips and tricks on how to give it. So we only met twice. And like I sat through their presentation twice, gave them some notes, and it was fantastic, right? That's what they wanted to get out of the program. So, but this is, if you're a first-time speaker, it's good to have some structure around this. So this is sort of what we recommend, right? So you should be already have an outline because it's part of your submission, but your materials should be prepared. Starting to prepare your materials, working on your slides for the first 2 weeks of the program. You're with your coach, and then your slides should be done by mid-November, and then that's when the rehearsals kind of start, right? So then the rehearsals pick up, and now I don't know, every coach does it a little differently. My preference is I turn my camera off, I turn my mic off, and I let the person present, and then I take notes, right? And then we review those notes after the presentation, right? And then you just do, and you keep iterating over and over again, right? Let's talk about some I was gonna say expectations, really. So one thing that's really important, like was being said, this is a volunteer program. We're all volunteers here. And so we do this because we like helping people out. We like seeing people thrive, right? And that takes like a lot from us. So we just ask that, you know, speakers be on time to the calls, or if you're not able to make it, you know, let your coach know ahead of time so that they can free up that time for potentially another coaching session with someone else. You know, sometimes the coaches take on 2 or 3 speakers, right? So that gives them opportunity to free that time up for someone else. So, you know, just make sure you're on time and you know, be professional. Your coach will always be on time. We're honest and open, but we do it in a kind, professional way, and we provide actionable feedback, right? Nothing like the feedback that I think Federico said, that just said, someone said your slides need work. That's not feedback. And I don't know how many people get feedback on their slides, but from my personal experience, when I get feedback, it's either great talk or I didn't like that talk. I never get any actionable feedback. That's probably one of the biggest benefits of this program, is you get actionable feedback on how to improve the talk. You know, as a speaker, we strongly recommend you put yourself on video. It really helps us connect with you as a speaker, but also lets us see how, like, when you're presenting, what your presentation style is, right? Typically when I'm doing rehearsals, by the second or third rehearsal, I'm having the person stand up and pretend they're in front of the audience when they're speaking, so I can see what their style is. Do they walk around? You know, do they grip on to the desk? That kind of stuff. And the coaches put their videos on. You know, most of the coaches on this call, I couldn't see, but I'm assuming all the coaches in this call had their cameras on if they could. You know, it just helps us build a better connection and helps us, you know, build that camaraderie, because we're in this together, right? This is not we're just letting you off in the wild. This is a team effort. Both speaker and coach will set clear expectations of what you want to get out of the program, right? Everyone, if you're an experienced speaker and you're thinking about doing this, you know, this will be tailored to your expectations, right? And then the coach obviously will level set with how well we can meet those expectations, right? Like, obviously we can't make your slides for you, but you know, if there's a preferred way that you would like the feedback to be given to you, or if there's a preferred way for communication, we can, you know, work within those. We ask that you as a speaker be proactive and organized when meeting with your coach, right? Like I said, this is a volunteer effort. So if we've asked you to go and make changes to the slides that we think will be beneficial, you know, please have those changes made by the time you show up to the next meeting, or come to the next meeting with reasons why you felt like changing that slide was not beneficial, right? That's totally fine, right? But just come prepared. And, you know, the coaches we encourage the speakers to schedule the next sessions, but it just depends on the coach. I typically just schedule the next session after the first session is scheduled. I work together with my speaker to schedule the next session. I think a lot of the coaches do that as well. If you are, okay, this one's super important. This one is, for me at least. If you are 2 or more speakers, you must all sign up for the coaching program if you want to be a part of the coaching program, and you must commit to all coming to the meetings at the same time. It is incredibly hard to give a co-talk. Co-talks are this paradox of, it feels easier because you have a support person there with you, but it's like a school project where, you know, if not everyone's there and present, it's hard to really get a good talk out of a co-talk. It's just it's hard because you have to rehearse together, you have to find the time to do that, find time to work on slides together. So if you can't both make it to the coaching sessions, or if one speaker, because I know Lydia speaks about her experience where she had one person that they signed up together, and the one person from it was a co-talk, that one person showed up to every meeting. The other person never showed up to any meetings. And then before the final coaching session, changed all the slides last minute. Right. So please, make sure that you are able to all advise together. Right. I'd like to participate at the same time. And then from the coaching perspective, we really do want to see you succeed. This one's important for me. I didn't learn English until high school. And so I have the utmost amount of respect for people who present not in their native language, right? And that's, I've had a lot of speakers come through with me where English was not their native language, and we help, we tailor the slides to help accommodate that, and rehearsing and all those things to help work through. It's very like I can barely speak in English, and so on stage, and so imagine trying to do that in French, which I could not do. So huge respect for folks that are doing that. As a speaker, please be responsive and reply to your coaches. If we have questions or we're sending you emails, we're not going to bombard you with emails. But if we're trying to reach out to you, it's probably for a good reason, right? And finally, we're not going to chase you down. If you're not showing up to the meetings, we'll just tell Lydia. We might give you a little reminder. Hey, are you able to make the meeting today? But if that keeps happening for every meeting, we're not going to hunt you down, right? This is a volunteer program. So speaker, you're going to make sure that your coaches understand what your schedule is like leading up to Black Hat. Lydia puts this in specifically because she tells a story where her coachee was on vacation.
Philip, are you changing slides? Because nothing is changing on the screen.
Is it not? Did I lose my connection to Teams? Great. So if I do this, is it changing?
No. And you are frozen as well, like your last frame.
The last frame? Oh, man. Let's see. Am I back?
No, not yet.
Oh, no. Boy. All right. You know what's... Oh, boy. All right. Give me a second. Let me...
Terrible freeze frame of you, though.
Great. That's great. But at least you can hear me. So let me... Because I've been sharing these notes. Every slide has had, like, text every time I hit the button. All right. Let me rejoin. This is classic Teams behavior. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Thank you, Marina. I was looking at something else.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of confused. Is he still, like, I saw that he was talking to the last point for too long. Like, is he still changing something? But maybe, like, just to fill the gap. Yeah, on one hand, like, we cannot force you to... Oh, Phil is already back. Okay.
Keep going. I like it.
No, I just wanted to add that, yeah, I mean, we want you to deliver your absolutely best talk because, like, we care for this conference. We selected your research. We want you to deliver a good content because at the end, Black Hat is a show. It's an expensive show. People come here and they're sent by their employers, but, like they're paying extensive amount of money to hear that research. So we really want you to deliver that research which we selected in full and so that the audience will enjoy it. So we obviously want really to bring it to a high quality. On the other hand, like we cannot force you. So do not worry, we respect your style and respect your, let's say, like preferences. So you will not be forced into anything. However, as we say, we do want you to enjoy this, be your best version of yourself, and we want we care about the audience, we care about which footprint you will leave on the YouTube and so on, because you want to be proud of your work. And what Fede was also said, like my first Black Hat talk, the research was amazing. My speaking maybe could have been better. I'm still fine with my slides, but yeah, like when you look back, you always wish you've done better. Yep. And also because you see, like, if you will continue, if you will enjoy Black Hat and want to present again, like we will be looking at your previous talks. And if the audience did not provide an exciting feedback, that will be a factor which we will consider when making a decision whether to accept another work of yours or not. So yeah, there is a lot of, let's say, pragmatic reasons beyond this, like having fun and a good time, why we're doing this program and why you should invest and why we are investing.
Yep.
Very good
Thank you.
points. Yeah.
Okay, let's get
And
through
you
the
weren't
research.
frozen very long, Phil. You were not frozen for very long, just so you know.
Okay. So, but here's the slide you missed that I went through line by line that had animations. So I wasn't just talking for minutes, although I could. Speaker resources. Christina, have you shared all these resources already with the chat? Because I'm going to go through them one by one, what they are. But this should have been shared with the chat already.
Yep, it
okay,
is.
Great. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So, so the briefing pack. This is the speaker coaching program briefing pack, and so this has everything we've covered sort of in this slide deck. Information about the program, links, all the links that you'll see here, expectations, useful resources. Right, these are all things I wish I had when I was giving my first Black Hat talk. Previous talk examples from people who have gone through the coaching program, and information about the coaches. I only had like one sentence about some of the coaches. All the coaches' bios is in the briefing pack, so you can go back and read through that if you feel like, well, I really want someone who specializes in my area. You can go ahead and read that. Not guaranteeing you will get that coach, but we do our best. So I know Christina already put the link in the chat, but this is the link for the sign up form. So I strongly recommend you sign up if you have any interest in the program. I strongly recommend you sign up. The sooner the better, just because it will fill up, right? So I'll leave this up for a few seconds, and then we'll move on to the next one. But I think the link's already shared in the chat, so you should be able to click it. But that's enough stalling. All right. Next is the Black Hat Europe speaker resources. This is a valuable site for things like benefit information for you, the venue, information about the venue, this specific program, speaker tips and presentation recommendations. So some of the recommendations they follow. The slide template. You would not believe how many conferences don't give you a slide template for you. So it's great. But so when I was going around giving talks for the first time, it was fantastic having a slide template that I could work off of to see what a good slide template looks like. Registration and badge pickup, rehearsal rooms, all this information is available to you on the Black Hat website. And then on top of that, we also, the coaching program has put together other speaker resources. So templates to help you get started. So if you're really struggling, well, how do I make my talk into a story, these resources are for you. So we have templates to help you get started. We have like how to do storytelling, document with some of the past Black Hat coached talks, useful TED Talks, useful articles. This is all information Lydia's put together. Also, you'll get an invitation to join the Black Hat coaching program Discord. If you take part in the program, I strongly recommend you join the Discord. It's super helpful. Not everyone communicate. I get right now, I think I'm looking at 1,000 emails I haven't looked at in my various mailboxes, right? But Discord is easy. It's easier for people to get a hold of me sometimes. So, I strongly recommend you join Discord. It also helps you connect with some of the other speakers. It also, I'll give an example from this last Black Hat in the US, where one of the speakers wanted to know the exact layout of the room they were speaking in, because they wanted to know the position of things, because they were doing live demos with hardware on stage, and they wanted to know the logistics of it. And so I believe Christina or Jennifer was able to get them an actual map of the actual room that they were in.
We can get you a map of the room. Yep.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Things I did not have access to for the first time I saw the room was when I walked in 10 minutes before my talk. So, and it really also allows you to connect to other coaches, connect with other speakers. It's optional. You don't have to join if you don't want, but I strongly recommend you do. And with that, I will stop sharing and see if we have any questions about the program.
One comment, the Speaker Resource Center, it's got a couple, some of the links are, gotta have a couple, need some updates. So if you go
Okay.
there and you find a link isn't working, it'll be finished by early next week. And I'll send an email confirming.
Great. Well, if there's no questions, Christina, I'll leave it to you. Oh, do you share the slides? Christina, I think we do. I think that's part of this talk. Yes,
Yes.
I think we share them. Yeah.
We want everybody's slides. If you could submit them by December 2nd, and this will all be in your next steps emails. I give you all your deadlines and everything. So even if you can't meet the deadline to submit your slides, just submit them. I can probably get them up on the web in time. So we shared your slides to the Black Hat website the morning after your talk, or by 5 p.m. that day after your talk. So attendees won't get a sneak preview of your slides before they see your talk, but they will have access to your slides shortly after, like the evening after your talk, basically. And yeah, attendees want the slides.
Yeah, I will say, so I know this, so we'll share the slides. I don't know if we share the presentation. I think we do. This slide deck that I just presented, right? Do we share that in the briefing?
Oh, these
The website?
Slides that you shared?
Yeah.
Yes, I dropped the link
Yeah.
for the slides
Okay.
from this presentation. Yes, in the
Okay.
chat.
But I do want to say, and Christina, you can answer this. One of the questions I get is, when I was rehearsing the night before my talk, I had to make some changes because this flow or brand new information came out the day before my talk. How can I send you updated slides after my talk?
Yes, you can send me updated slides after your talk. Yes.
Right. So it's not in stone. December 6th is not, no more changes. If you present something different, not radically different, but if you need to present some changes to your slides on stage, then that's totally fine. Go ahead, Marina.
Yeah, I wanted just to make a quick comment. Like definitely there are some speakers, as Philip was saying, is some are very experienced, some are less experienced, some are warriors, like they worry a lot. Some people are perfectionists and so on. And like having this program and following that schedule, and I highly recommend to follow the schedule, is because like it gives you structure, because it is so easy to underestimate how much time you need to rehearse, to figure out the storyline, to perfect the slides and so on. And for example, even experienced speakers, like sometimes I receive like very experienced speakers, they just want like, hey, I just want to have a second pair of eyes. Like we've just quickly went through, the speaker is happy, I provided the comment, and then they just give, for example, the slide deck to the marketing department, and the marketing is creating all the cute pictures and, like graphics and so on, and the slide deck is ready. And so on. But, like having this accountability that you have to show up every day and finish up the storyline helps you, like to get ready in advance without being too over nervous. And similarly, like those who needs a lot of help, they often don't even understand how much help is that needed. For example, like I had two difficult cases for Black Hat USA. And, like it's actually came to the point closer to the conference that we need to involve even extra help because, like the talk was just not progressing because, for example, some speakers were not experienced, and another set of speakers, they were very young, like talented students, but not really without any experiences of storytelling. We need to evoke their supervisors, and I also was involved in preparing slides and so on. But having this, like going from week to week, it helps you to identify how, like what kind of disaster you are in or not, and so on. And then it gives you also, if you are on a good pace, you can perfect it, and it's just like literally make it the best experience of your life. So that accountability, you will appreciate it having it.
Yeah, I'll add on. I can help fix a intro slide deck. We'll say a draft slide deck. We can help fix that. We can't help fix nothing, right? And so having your slides, and the other thing I will say, having your slides hanging over your head for weeks and weeks at a time, I don't know what the other speakers, But for me, it just hangs over me like a cloud until I get the slides done. And because it takes days for me to get slides done, and I've done a lot of talks, and so it's not easy getting slides together. So having that structure on those dates, it's such a relief when your slides are at least in a draft state, because now you're just making changes and updates. So at least you've got the things done. So great point, Marina. Totally
Yeah,
agree.
and we do not judge. That's the most important. Come with any shit you prepared, and literally it can be shit. It does not matter. We are not judging on your being worried. We are judging on your speaking skills. We are not judging on what you've prepared. We do not judge. It does not matter. Do not be worried or afraid. Do not say, I'm sorry. It does not matter. We are there because, do you think we are perfect? We are not. We all start with crap and move out and make our way forward, like on the top in perfection. So do not worry about that. Come with anything you have, and do not hesitate, and just like start from week one, have 10 slides, but show up and start working on it. And then we will go from there.
Great. Anyone else before I let Christina wrap it up? Okay, Christina, take it away. I don't see
Well,
that.
if you have any, if you just don't want to speak up, but you want to send me an email privately, go ahead. Let me drop my email in the chat right here. You have it because I'm the one that's been emailing you since you have been accepted. It's christina.garceau@informa.com. There we go. Yep. So I will be sending a third next steps email after this call, either this evening or first thing in the morning. The first one was about your speaker social media little promo cards if you wanted to sign up for one. The second one just had more information about hotel and logistics. And then this third one will include all the links that are in the chat, as well as the recording of today's call and more information. And this next steps email will also contain all the information from the other next steps email. So you'll have everything in one spot. But yep, thank you to all of our coaches who joined. Thank you so much, Phil, for leading the call for us. And thank you to all the speakers who were here and stayed and are taking an interest in the program. And we look forward to following up with you.
Thanks all.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
I will stop recording.